In the echoing silence of decision, where does authenticity reside? Are we defined by unyielding truth, or by the fluid contours of survival? Consider the chameleon's heart, beating beneath a skin of endless transformation. Is it a testament to weakness, a surrender to the prevailing wind, or a profound, almost primal wisdom? When the hunter's shadow falls, and the very air vibrates with the unspoken promise of oblivion, how far would you bend, how much of yourself would you shed, to simply endure? This is the whisper of the world to those caught between two forms, two worlds, two truths. The twilight canopy, a fractal lacework of obsidian and indigo, was Ilara's domain. She was a creature of the liminal, her wings, membrane stretched taut over bone, a paradox of the avian and the terrestrial. Not bird, not beast, but a fragile bridge between the two, thriving in the interstitial spaces where light bled into shadow. One crisp, scent-laden night, a sudden, brutal gust of wind, a rogue eddy in the thermal currents, tore at her delicate flight. She spiraled, a pinwheeling shadow, plummeting through the layers of the forest until she struck the damp earth, stunned and disoriented. Before her vision cleared, a shadow fell. Not the benevolent shadow of the night, but the predatory silhouette of Raxus, a weasel whose eyes gleamed with an ancient, untamed hunger. Raxus, a creature of stark absolutes, whose world was cleaved into hunter and hunted, feathered and furred. Ilara, trembling, felt the tremor of his intent, the cold certainty of her end. "Speak, twilight dweller," Raxus rasped, his voice a low growl that vibrated through the forest floor. "Your wings betray you. You are of the sky, and all winged things are anathema to my kind. Your end is nigh." Desperation, a cold, sharp blade, pierced Ilara's heart. Her very existence was a lie in Raxus's simplistic worldview. "No, noble hunter," she cried, her voice a thin, reedy plea. "You misjudge my form. Look closer, observe the delicate fur that cloaks me, the rodent skull that houses my intellect. I am no bird, but a mouse, a creature of the earth, akin to your own burrowing brethren." Silence stretched, heavy and fraught. Raxus narrowed his eyes, scrutinizing her trembling frame. The logic, however twisted, appealed to his rudimentary understanding of species. His animosity was for the high-flying, the free. This trembling bundle of fur, grounded and small, seemed more aligned with the scuttling things he tolerated, even hunted, but not with the sky-born enemies. Indeed, he mused, a flicker of grudging acceptance in his gaze. "A mouse you are. Go, then. But remember your place, Earthrunner." And with a dismissive flick of his tail, Raxus vanished into the undergrowth. Ilara, gasping for breath, scrambled away, her heart a frantic drum against her ribs. She had survived. By embracing a falsehood, she had navigated the chasm of death. The memory of the lie, however, tasted like ash on her tongue. Weeks later, a cruel irony of fate repeated itself. Another thermal anomaly, another unexpected plummet, another cold, predatory shadow. This time, it was Silas, a weasel even more formidable than Raxus, whose territorial rage burned with an unquenchable fire against the burrowing kind. Silas, whose ancestors had been ravaged by subterranean vermin, saw all things that scuttled as a personal affront. "Ah, a plump morsel!" Silas snarled, pinning Ilara with a paw. "A rodent, indeed, though oddly adorned. Your kind has burrowed too long in the shadows, stealing from the earth. Your time is done, mouse." Panic, sharper and more immediate, seized Ilara. The previous truth, her mouse identity, was now a death sentence. She looked at her wings, thin and translucent in the dappled moonlight. Her only remaining recourse was the other half of her fractured identity. "No, mighty Silas," she cried, her voice imbued with a desperate urgency. "You are mistaken. I am no mouse, no burrowing thief. Behold my elegant wings, my aerial grace. I am a creature of the air, a hunter of the sky, a fellow master of the winds. I am a bird." Silas paused, his paw still heavy on her. His prejudice was against mice, against the crawling things. He eyed her wings, the delicate structure so unlike the ground-dwelling rodents he despised. He saw the truth, or at least, the truth that served his immediate understanding. The air, the sky, these were not his battlegrounds. A bird, you say, he mused, a flicker of reluctant acknowledgement in his amber eyes. Then fly, winged one. Your kin are not my quarry. And with a grunt, he released her. Ilara, bruised and shaken, soared back into the comforting darkness, the wind a balm on her battered wings. Twice, she had twisted her truth, shifting her essence to fit the arbitrary judgments of her predators. Twice, she had survived. But the cost was a hollow ache, a lingering question of where, in the maelstrom of these desperate transformations, her true self truly resided. Ilara's plight is a mirror reflecting the agonizing choices we face in the intricate dance of modern life. How often do we, too, shapeshift our identities, chameleon-like, to navigate the rigid expectations of our professional worlds, social circles, or even our own internal critics? We present ourselves as a bird to one authority, all soaring ambition and visionary ideas, only to become a mouse to another, humble and industrious. This adaptive instinct, born of a primal need for survival, begs a profound question: does such flexibility signify wisdom, or does it erode the very core of authenticity? In a world that demands compartmentalization, where does genuine self-worth find purchase when its foundation is built upon shifting sand? The integrity of the self, often sacrificed for fleeting safety or superficial acceptance, whispers a chilling reminder: constant adaptation without introspection leads not to strength, but to an unmoored existence, adrift in a sea of manufactured identities. So, pause and consider, when the winds of expectation blow, and the shadows of judgment loom, what parts of yourself do you offer, and what parts do you truly retain? The courage to be unequivocally oneself, even in the face of perceived danger, is perhaps the rarest and most potent form of survival. For in the shifting sands of identity, only the truly authentic self can stand unbent, unwavering, and whole.